FortiAuthenticator SmartConnect streamlines secure Wi-Fi onboarding by guiding users through a self-service workflow that automatically configures the required Wi-Fi and certificate settings. Compared with manual password entry and certificate installation, SmartConnect reduces user error, improves the connection experience, lowers help desk effort, and enables stronger identity-based access through centralized authentication and certificate management. Here we've depicted the steps that we'll be walking through during this demo. The steps include administrative configurations to support SmartConnect using FortiAuthenticator, as well as how an end user would connect using SmartConnect once it's in place. We're starting here on the FortiAuthenticator dashboard. The device is running firmware version 8.0.2, and we can see a fresh installation with no users or authentication activity yet. The setup involves three main areas. First, certificate authority and certificate creation on FortiAuthenticator. Second, Radius client and policy configuration. And third, the SmartConnect portal and profile, which ties everything together for the end user. Let's begin. The first step is to create a local certificate authority on FortiAuthenticator. Navigate to Certificate Management in the left sidebar, then expand Certificate Authorities and select Local CAs. Click Create New. In the Create New Local CA certificate form, enter a certificate ID. In this example, we're using smart_connect_CA. The certificate type is set to root CA. Under Subject Information, the common name, or CN, is set to smart_connect. All other subject fields such as department, company, and country can be left blank for this lab configuration. Under Key and Signing Options, the validity period is set to 3,650 days, that's 10 years. The key type is RSA with a key size of 2048, and the hash algorithm is SHA-256. These are solid defaults for enterprise use. Leave the subject alternative name fields empty and keep the certificate revocation list lifetime at 30 days. Click Save. Next, we'll create an End Entity certificate under End Entities and Local Services. From there, we'll click Create New. We'll set the certificate ID to smart_cert and we'll set the CN name to the same. Leaving everything else set to defaults, we'll hit Save. After saving the CA, we can see the system has also generated an End Entity Server certificate called smart_cert, signed by our new smart_connect_CA. You'll see the green success banner confirming it was added. This server certificate will be used by the Radius service to authenticate itself to connecting clients during the EAP TLS handshake. Next, we'll browse to Radius services in general in order to configure Radius EAP. Here we'll select the smart_cert created in the previous step as the EAP server certificate. Under Local CA, select smart_connect_CA and click OK. Next, we'll browse to Auth Profiles under Radius service on the menu. Here we'll create an authentication profile. Start by giving the profile a name. In this case, we'll call it auth_profile, then click Next. For Client Credential, select Certificates and click Next. On the Identity Sources screen, we'll leave the default selected and click Next. On the final screen, click Save. The auth profile has been successfully set up. Now, we need to register the FortiGate as a Radius client. Navigate to Radius Service, then Clients. The list is currently empty. Click Create New to add the FortiGate as a Radius client. Set the name to FortiGate or a name that identifies your wireless controller. For the client address, select IP/FQDN and enter the FortiGate's IP address. In this example, it's 10.59.254.x on the management network. Enter a shared secret. This must match exactly what you'll configure on the FortiGate side. The Radius attribute fields for user IP and MAC address can be left at their defaults. Click Save. Now let's create the Radius policy. Go to Radius Service, then Policies, and click Create New. The wizard walks you through 4 steps. On the General Information step, provide a policy name. On the Radius Attribute Criteria step, shown here, leave the option to require specific attributes disabled for now, and click Next. On the Authentication Profile screen, select EAP TLS Client Certificates, and for the Auth Profile, select the Auth_profile that was created earlier and click Next. On the final screen, click Save and Exit and you'll see your Radius service policy setup. We now switch to the FortiGate, or in this case a FortiWi-Fi 60F, to configure the wireless side. The setup wizard may appear if this is a fresh device. We'll click later to skip it and proceed directly to the relevant settings. In the FortiGate, navigate to User and Authentication, then Radius Servers. We're editing an existing entry called FortiAuthenticator_smart. The primary server IP is 10.59.223.127, the FortiAuthenticator's address, and after entering the shared secret, the connection status shows green, successful. This confirms the FortiGate can reach the FortiAuthenticator Radius service. Click OK. Now navigate to Wi-Fi and Switch Controller, then SSIDs. You can see several SSIDs already configured on this device. We're going to create a new one specifically for the SmartConnect onboarding workflow. Click Create New. Enter the SSID name. Here we start with Smart_EAP. The type is Wi-Fi SSID and traffic mode is set to tunnel. The final name for this SSID is Smart_ETLS. Assign it a subnet. In this example 192.168.113.1/24. The SSID broadcast name automatically populates to match. Note that the security mode is currently showing WPA2 Personal. We'll change that to WPA2 Enterprise and link it to our Radius server. Scroll down to complete the security settings, then click OK to save. Back on FortiAuthenticator, navigate to Authentication, then Portals, and select Portals from the sub-menu. The list is currently empty. We also see SmartConnect Profiles in the sidebar. We'll configure that shortly. Click on SmartConnect Profiles. This is where we define the EAP type, signing CA, and certificate provisioning behavior for the SmartConnect workflow. Click Create New. Next, specify a name for the SmartConnect profile. In this example, we'll call it Smart_ETLS. Leave the connect type set to wireless, and click Next. On the wireless connection settings, copy the SSID you created on the FortiGate. In this case, we type in Smart_ETLS. Select WPA_ and Enterprise as the auth method and click Next. Next, select the client certificate CN. We will select Smart_Connect_CA, which was created earlier. Leave the other options set to default and click Next. On the final screen, select the SmartConnect CA cert under Available Local CA Certificates and add it to the list on the right and click OK. The SmartConnect profile has been set up. Now create the self-service portal. Navigate to Authentication, Portals, and click Create New. Enter the name as Smart_Portal. The portal sections, user accounts, pre-login services, and post-login services can be configured based on your organization's needs. For this demonstration, we're using default settings. Click Save. Next, click on Policies under Portals and Create New. Start by giving the policy a name. We'll call it Portal. Under the Portal options, select Smart_Portal created in the previous step and click Next. Under Identity Sources, we'll keep the username format set to default, but this is where you would be able to specify if a different format exists. Then click Next. On the final screen Authentication Factors, you can select your authentication methods. Here we'll leave the default selection of all configure password and OAP factors and click Save and Exit. Lastly, we're going to create a test local user in order to test out our SmartConnect setup. Under User Management and Local Users, we'll create a username U1 and specify a password. Next, we'll hop onto this user's laptop and browse to the captive portal address setup in one of the previous steps. This is a URL you would email to your end user so that they can enroll in the wireless network using SmartConnect. Here we'll authenticate as the test user created in the previous step. After logging in, the user lands on the SmartConnect page. The platform is automatically detected, or can be manually selected from the dropdown. In this example, Windows is selected, which triggers an XML provisioning profile. The SmartConnect application launches automatically, or the user installs it from the Microsoft Store link provided on the page, and a progress dialog appears showing setting up smart connections with the status applying configuration. The SmartConnect app works through the provisioning steps. Here we can see it has applied 3 of 3 certificates, the CA certificate, the Radius server certificate, and the user's personal client certificate, all issued automatically by FortiAuthenticator. Once provisioning completes, the SmartConnect application displays the Smart Connections dashboard. The available Smart Connections toggle is enabled. Under Provisioned Smart Connections, we can see 3 networks have been configured on this device: CertSmart, Rayfon_EAP_TLS, and Smart_ETLS. These are all the enterprise Wi-Fi profiles that have been pushed to this device, with certificates, without the user having to manually configure anything. Clicking on the Smart_Etels network in the Available section reveals it is showing as secured. The user can optionally tick Connect automatically, and then click Connect to join the enterprise Wi-Fi network. The device will use the Provision Client Certificate to authenticate via EAP TLS against the FortiAuthenticator Radius server, fully automated, no manual certificate import required by the end user. And that completes the full SmartConnect onboarding flow. The device is now provisioned with the necessary certificates and Wi-Fi profiles, and the user can seamlessly connect to the enterprise wireless network. To summarize what we configured, a root CA and server certificate on FortiAuthenticator, a Radius client and policy linking the FortiGate, a WPA2 Enterprise SSID on the FortiWi-Fi, a SmartConnect profile defining EAP TLS parameters, and a self-service portal that end users log into to trigger automatic device provisioning. For more details, refer to the FortiAuthenticator 6.5.0 cookbook linked in the description. Thanks for watching.